Okay, welcome to Game 2, first half. We're gonna have YMM coming out with Naiad first, and of course, Fox is going to play first officer this time. It does seem like Lisa will be changed towards Psychologist for this one. I mean, Psycho against Naiad overall isn't too bad if you did bring... Oh, no, she didn't bring... she brought Flywheel instead, but as we can see as well from YMM side, it's gonna be an Insolence Detention with Impulsive, Control Freak, and of course, Fear. Sen coming in straight into Big Wood as well. I don't think this area will be utilized as much anymore, but at least the good news for Sen is it's only going to be the lower layer that's going to be locked, and of course coming in with the that hurts so much. This is why Entomologist counters Naiad so much. Zibi has done a really good job with that support as well. We did see as well from bottom left hand side of our screen with the Sen smiling with the support. It's usually they got a pad over hit right there. That's not good. That's not good considering that he still has 2 magnets on his hand. But now we do see as well the blink is ready, deciding to blink down immediately right there. The pallet drop down really hurted him the most. The survivors definitely did have a huge advantage early in the game, but now because of this it may become a little bit more different. Of course Fox is going to start making his way towards the chair right now. It's gonna hurt quite a bit with a prospector who has a magnet and of course Flywheel on his hands to stay on chair and to be sold. Probably rescuing before half would be the best choice right here for the survivors. It's genuinely just considering the fact that, you know, you might as well. Of course, getting the hit there on first officer, it gets the push on towards the survivors donut, then immediately magnet pushes away. But I don't think this is gonna do much right here, especially for a prospector. What prospector needs here is to flywheel this hit, and very nicely done by Sen. 1 cipher just barely being done, and 2 ciphers currently at 15%. Sen just about time, but I don't think he's able to contain longer. Is there going to be a magnet coming and pushing away? But it does seem like both parties will be stunned right here. The bees doesn't really do much in that area, Sally, but it does seem like the bees are going to come back with the mini assist here, allowing the first officer to take the cipher speed buff right there, the metal speed buff right there. But I don't think okay, it does seem like YMM decides that, you know, I won't just hit over the window, considering you do have muscle memory as well. Now this is a really good rebound kite, considering the fact that Sen has bought 30 seconds extra for the survivors to heal. Well, not to heal, but for psychologists to heal, and for them to finish almost 3 ciphers. Well, just about 3 ciphers. But I think by this point, it's probably best not to rescue anymore. And you also have to consider that YMM is currently at full health. And if you have a first officer who wants to come in to rescue, it's basically asking... It's not good, because like after first officer comes for the rescue for the second time, he'll have no stopwatches left for another kite. So it's a bit risky here now, relying on a prospector to contain for quite a bit of time for first officer to pull away. But of course survivors here, as we do see as well, decides to not decode any ciphers just yet. Probably will be letting first officer decode instead, because like, even if first officer gets chased first, he can at least contain for 30 seconds because of his stopwatch, and it's with the fact that first officer stays on chair for quite a bit of time as well. So it's better for first officer to decode regardless of what happened. But of course, unless it's in the scenario of, you know, none of the survivors has heartbeat, then first officer definitely has to start moving, just because you can't give that, you know, easy hit after all, even if you're a rescuer. Don't be too greedy on the ciphers. And then popping that cipher right there from Fox's side, it does seem like Lisu will become the main target right here from Naiad. Naiad throwing out the harpoon. This has to be a pretty darn big moisture, cause it's really just with the fact that YMM probably realizes this as well, that the psychologist does not flywheel. Very nice flywheel, Lisa's flywheel, that was very nicely done. But YMM definitely did realize that this psychologist does not have window speed buff, knee-jerk reflex. So now then, seeing where the first officer is, wanting the first officer to use this item, but of course we're landing 60% moisture immediately, as we do see here as well. Predicting where he's going to move next, Ali was not able to get the hit. Sees that psychologist is also nearby as well. Does he see the footprints? It does not seem like he does see the footprints, but first officer still does have one more chance to utilize his watch right here, and it does seem like he'll be able to do so. Sally YM didn't really grasp the time properly there. Then being able to step away, walking behind the Naiad. Meanwhile, she hits the air. There's going to be another spear coming out from Naiad right now. Meanwhile, first officer is still at full health with barely any moisture level. But of course, as we do see here as well, not female dancer, psychologist is at quite of a pickle because she can't decode. The only one who can decode right here is the entomologist, sadly. But of course, this is quite a large harpoon coming out from YMM right here as well. A bit unfortunate with the fact that harpoon duration has ended. But Zubi jumping down right there, I wouldn't say that's the best course of action, considering YMM, the moment that the harpoon is ready is the moment that he'll start making a huge puddle here. Now then, throwing out the harpoon immediately, it does seem like we'll be able to land the immediate 50%, 70%, 76%, just about 75% moisture level right there. Zibi rotating, looping, not a good idea to loop here, because there was a chance for, there's a chance for you to get bursted down. Even with the movement speed buff, it's not going to do much against an impulsive Naiad, as YMM does know here as well. Very nice pulls made by YMM, but sadly the Cypher machines are enough. Here, as we do see as well, currently primed at 94%. Good news, this is still tieable. This is still tieable for survivors. Bad news for YMM is this is still tieable. This is tieable, considering the fact that YMM did do a lot, especially that early down. But sadly, it does seem like Survivor got the better of him. Now then, throws out the harpoon immediately, knows where Fox is, but it does seem like there is there's no nostalgic on the YMM. Well, no, I mean, even if there is, it wouldn't really work, considering someone has already returned to the mainer. Of course, Zibi trying to continue for as long as possible, wanting to rotate towards this pallet area right now, popping a little bit late, which is a little bit of a sad memento, but of course this speed buff should not be able to get the hit right there, because if he hit a little bit too early then it would be really bad. But at least good news for Survivor is, even if they're not at the gate just yet, I think it's okay, because YMN can't really leave this area, but there is a dungeon there though, so that's a whole different story, which is a little bit of an oof moment. Meanwhile, we're gonna get a lag for a little bit. My bad about that. Nothing I can do about it. Okay then, carrying the entomologist, of course, harpooning away and then dashing immediately towards the other gate. If YMM really commits for this, then it's not that good for both sides, of course. I seriously don't know why it's lagging. Yeah, it's lagging. It's lagging. Give me a sec. Let's see. The other gate is opening, so yeah, it is a tie. Well, it is what it is. It is a tie. My bad about that. I don't know why it's lagging so much. It shouldn't be, honestly. It could be because of the storm here. Well, not a storm, but the rain. Now then, let's congratulate the tie here, moving on towards the second half. Okay, Lady 13 coming from Chia side. This is going to be second half of game 2 right now. The skin, I do love the color team. I guess I do love the color team. But anyways, into the game we go. A little bit of a posh Geisha right here, looking for the acrobat right now who wants to put on a show for the Geisha. Let's see who goes down first. Is it the Geisha that's going to get contained, or is it this acrobat that's going to contain? But it does seem like MK, there is a catapult there, but sadly Geisha decided that she did not want to dash inside because she doesn't have soul departure, which is a little bit more unfortunate. Now then, from the persona side, it does seem like it'll be a trump card detention, which wanted order and impact, of course, one stack of rage as well. And the acrobat successfully getting in towards Big Boat. There's no point in chasing after acrobat anymore, just because of the fact that acrobat can definitely just jump down and start looping you towards the back of Big Boat once again. But if Chia realizes this, I think he does realize this, sees where the acrobat is right now as well. Acrobat jumping down towards the side area just so he can get down a little bit earlier. But there is still the oh wait, jumps down immediately right here. Is there a flywheel on acrobat? There is a flywheel, but it does seem like we're going to get rid of that. Catapult first. Now then, no catapults remaining. Probably Toy Merchant will be the best next chase, but doesn't know where Toy Merchant is as well. And of course, Blink is ready. It's probably better here to chase after this acrobat instead. Now then, getting the dasher immediately. It seems like we're flywheeling a bit early right there, but sadly Geisha with that hitbox right there was running a little bit short as well. Then did not get the pallet stun there. That was very close for the pallet stun. I think MK definitely wanted to do that, but of course it's going to be an immediate blink down very soon. Chia dashing in here as well, even though he didn't create that much distance between himself and the acrobat. There is basically still a blink down, which is very nicely done by Chia right here. Of course, from AI, since it does seem like this will be more or less of a tie from the survivor side, considering that they don't have harass. But I guess the other good news is, considering the fact that we do have a barmaid here, barmaid can come into body block for quite a bit of time. Now then, first officer utilizing his stopwatch immediately just so he can catch up towards the chair. I think, well, I mean, even whether he used it earlier or not, it's probably better to use it now than never, considering the fact that he basically can rescue. He basically can rescue, use the stopwatch, and then, you know, 7% speed buff right there from the decoding time. Getting the hit on Acrobat. First officer decoding at 68% in middle right now. It does seem like all 3 ciphers are being opened as of now. So 75% on the first officer. Yeah, max presence right now, and MK trying to go towards the C as much as possible, just so it takes this Geisha quite a bit of time to chair. Then seeing where Lon is gonna abandon his 15% cipher just so he can come in to go for the rescue. Does have Tide. It does seem like this team does have double Tide. If Geisha decided to chase after the toy merchant first, then this definitely could have been, you know, a 4-man. Not, well, it could have been a 4-man elimination is what I was seeing it. Considering the fact that you're against a toy merchant with nothing to contain with except for catapult. But then catapult's kind of useless against the Geisha after all. Now then getting the Pallet stone right there, which is very nicely done. Chair progress is currently at 90%, so decides he wanted to bait the chair hit. He wanted to bait the chair hit, but it is a little bit tight right here. Gets a hit from Chia's side. Thankfully, he didn't really touch the chair. And of course, Mischievous popping in right there. It's up to the toy merchant to body block right now. But sadly, that pitbox once again running a little bit shorter than we expected. Coming in with a. She's just looking back. She's just looking back so the Geisha can't dash. Of course, now then once again a red ball. It does seem like it was a failed red ball, but at least the cipher machine is primed now. So even if we do chase after the Acrobat right now, it doesn't seem like we'll be able. This could be a win for. This could potentially be a win for WGB right now, considering they have a 4-man endgame. But it's also with the fact that Iron is coming in now. I feel like it's a little bit late to come in now. You do have to think of the fact that if Iron does decide to use his stopwatch, it'll be game over. And then we'll be immediately coming out with our pocket watch, which is fine. But also at the same time, wanted orders on the Acrobat, so we'll definitely be chasing after the Acrobat first. Then seeing where everyone is. He didn't bring claustrophobia for this one. But if he can immediately blink down here, then it'll be the best thing he can do. Seeing where Lon and the first officer is right now, it's probably best for them not to come towards this side. I don't think Barmaid can open the gate on time. I don't think it's enough, considering that she also doesn't have flywheel. 99, 100% just about right there. But no one has tied right now, so even if the first officer is there, it kind of will seem like it's going to become a throw. But at least the good news is first officer does have a stopwatch, so we do see where Lon is right now, deciding to play it more safe. Because we did see Exhibitionist told the hunter that there was a proctable right there, telling the hunter who was nearby. But of course, getting the hit on the first officer there will be really bad. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Can the first officer crawl out? The first officer cannot crawl out. A little bit unfortunate, but let's congratulate the Cyber Chia. That was very close. Very, very close, as we do see a small smirk from Lon right there on our screen. Moving on towards game 3.